not a particularly emotional person. But when this mixer came in, it got me really excited. Once I got it off the crate and got everything assembled, I was really looking forward to using it, and let me tell you, this thing has lived up to its hype. Check out the link in the description to see the Mudmixer that I used in today's video. So my mom and dad have always wanted a bigger driveway, because the driveway that their house came with was only really big enough to park like 2 or 3 cars, and they all had to be in single file, so it was difficult to get in and out of the driveway. So they wanted an addition. I told them I could pour an addition, and this video was originally going to be me pouring that addition with the Harbor Freight mixer that you've all seen me use. I was kind of hesitant on using that mixer because it's got a couple of thousand bags of concrete through it. Needless to say, is it's getting worn out. The bearings are getting worn out, the frame's coming apart. I've had to tack weld it in multiple places. I made another video of some of the upgrades and modifications that I've made to it to keep it running, but I didn't feel comfortable pouring a pad for somebody else and that thing potentially failing. And you guys know, in the middle of a concrete project, if something fails, it's going to be a big disaster because stuff's not going to cure right and you're probably going to have to tear everything back up. All that being said, I started looking at concrete mixers. I know that the Harbor Freight mixer has been a very good one, especially for the price, but it's difficult for me because I usually work by myself. It's difficult for me to load it up into a truck. It's difficult to strap down. It takes up a lot of space in the truck if you have to lay it down to strap it down. So I started looking at more easily transportable mixers. Most of those are similar in style. They got the big drum at the top, the motor on the side, the small frame holding it up. So I started looking at trailerable units, or units to go on the back of my tractor. Issue with that is I have to bring a tractor everywhere I go, or I had to have a truck or something to trailer the trailerable units around, which is not ideal either. Came across the Mudmixer, and that kind of filled everything that I was looking for. It's one of a kind, doesn't really have any competitors, so that was really the only option. Got it, I'm very glad that I did. It's a heavy duty unit, rolls around really well, it mixes extremely fast, almost to the point where I can't even keep up with it. I work very fast, and I was struggling to keep up with this thing. I was very happy with it. It's got a chute on the front of it, so if you ever do post holes, which I do a lot of, you can roll it up, set the chute up into the hole. It's just awesome. You know, you hook your hose pipe up to it. It's even got an additional hose. I'll go over a lot of details. I'm going to make a completely different video that compares a standard mixer to the Mudmixer. It's the only thing on the market that I could find. There are no comparisons to it other than regular style mixer, trailerable mixer, Mudmixer. That's it that I found. You guys know of anything else, let me know. What I was getting at is, this video was going to originally be me using the Harbor Freight mixer to pour their driveway addition. Like I said, didn't feel comfortable with it because I was scared it was going to break down, so I got the Mudmixer. I am speechless. It's the first time I've ever used the thing. I was speechless on how well it works. It's amazing. You guys just have to see the clips. I'll kind of talk over the clips and explain the process of what I'm doing and everything, but I'm very happy with it. Let's get into the video. I'm excited about this, guys. Let's go. Here's a clip of the area that I'll be working in. Unfortunately, I was not there for the concrete delivery. It was placed a little too close to the edge for what I wanted. The original plan was to swivel the Mudmixer 90 degrees and have it on the actual driveway pouring into the forms and just rolling back as I went, but it did not quite work out that way. As you see, I have to be very careful when grading this area because their power main is just under it. I chose to use my tractor with a box blade as it's right around 7 foot wide and the pad is going to be 5 foot wide, so we have a little extra room to work. I successfully graded the area without hitting any wires. I took just over 4 inches of dirt and pulled it to the end of where I'm working because I'm going to use that as a backfill once the pad is completed so that I can put it just below the level of the concrete to prevent water from washing up onto it. I laid a heavy black plastic down to slow down the curing process of the concrete, also to prevent groundwater from seeping up into it in the future. I drilled an epoxied rebar every 2 feet into their existing pad to prevent any shifting over time. I told them multiple times that I did not need help, but being my parents, they insisted. I also told them not to screed more than a time or two, but they didn't listen to that either. In the end, it didn't affect anything, and it all turned out just fine. I broke this up into 2 days because I was afraid that I wouldn't have enough time before the concrete set up. Using the Mudmixer, everything went so fast I could have done a full pad in 1 day, but better to be safe than sorry. The second day my parents had places to be, so I did this portion alone. Everything went smooth other than all of the empty bags that I generated. It was nice having those put away because it was windy that day. Between those and the leaves, I really had to pay attention. This area was on more of a slope than the others, so I had to decrease the amount of water that I put into the concrete. With the mud mixer, it was easy to do on the go with just a turn of a knob. Using the other mixer that I was used to using, I would have really had to pay attention to how much water I was adding manually, which would have slowed me down a bit. This is a small pad that they wanted for a propane tank that we installed for a fireplace. I figured since I was there, I could quickly knock that out. I originally was going to just do a time lapse, but it was going so fast, I decided to record. This will give you a chance to see the mixer in action real time. This project could have been finished up in 2 days alone. Because I chose to split the pad into 2 days, it made it 3 total, but I like to be safe than sorry. This clip shows the pad completed with forms removed. I put the topsoil back in place that I originally scraped, tapering it just below the top of the concrete to prevent water from washing up. I raked to the soil level, removed the rocks, spread starter fertilizer, and some annual ryegrass to get grass quickly started before the winter. I then spread wheat straw over the top, sliced it in, and watered well. It's been really windy the past few days, and I did not want the straw going anywhere until the grass was established. The weather helped me out, as it lightly rained for a few days after this. The grass is currently about 2 inches tall and is coming in great. Here's a short clip of the propane pad all finished up. This is the last clip. I went back and cleaned up the original driveway with a wire brush and masonry chisel. I also cut control joints. I lined them up with the original driveway the best I could. To do that, I used a chalk line and a circular saw with a diamond blade installed. If you like the Mudmixer, you really should check it out. I can't recommend it enough. I put a link in the description that will take you to it. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I hope you got something from it. Like, subscribe, comment. I will see you all in the next one.